I went to the altar on February 26th and I turned to my wife and asked her if she would go down with me. And she said she would, and she came down and prayed with me. And Pastor Rob came over and talked to me. And I asked the Lord to come to my heart, and he did. And immediately I felt a peace inside that I didn't know before. And it was a feeling that I had never experienced at all. And when I asked God to forgive me my sins, I know I'll never forget that I committed those sins. I know that God won't hold them against me in the future. I've been in this church since 1978 with my wife, and I've always come with her and brought the kids to church. And I'd never let my wife come to church without me. But I wasn't a Christian, but a lot of people think that I was, and I know they had that impression because at times I talked to some people and they would say things to me that I really thought they thought I was a Christian, but I've never professed to be a Christian. I just was always around the church, and everybody assumed that. But my life before that was really not that bad. My problem was life before my marriage, and while I was in the military and prior to that time, that I was way away from the Lord, and I just would never let myself get over it. I never would ask for forgiveness for the things that I did, and that's what kept me close to the church, but it didn't let me be a part of the church. And there's nothing worse than being straddling the fence and not on one side or the other. And so that was one of the things that influenced me to come to the Lord. Before I found Christ, we had some problems in our family. My wife had cancer, and it was difficult for me to go through that with her because I thought you should be able to pray for your wife if anything is wrong, and I couldn't. And that was one of the things that God's dealing with me, that you have to take care of your family. And I think that was one of the things that really stuck with me over the last 6 or 7 months. And I just kept putting it off until February the 26th. I just couldn't put it off anymore. I had to either make a decision to follow Christ or not to follow him. And I'm glad that he accepted me and let me ask for forgiveness for my sins. But since I went to the altar, I felt a peace inside that has, I just can't explain that peace and the calmness in my life. I don't get excited over things that happen. I don't get mad over things that happen in life, just in general. The peace gives me a calm and a joy at the same time. I'm happy. I pray all the time. I read the scriptures. I'm studying, and that gives me an assurance that what I've been feeling, what I did at the altar, giving my life to God, and him forgiving me of my sins, has brought me to this place where I'm no matter what happens to me now, is going to be fine, because I'm not worried about what my status is with God. I know he's always there for me. And if you're thinking about it, then you should take that step. The biggest regret you'll have of not taking the step is if it's bothering you now and you're thinking about it and God keeps working with you, by the time you get around to do it, you may waste a few years, and you'll always look back on that time that you wasted as being completely wasted, and that you could have been serving God sooner, and you could have been a child of God a lot earlier, and you would have been a much happier person once you've made that decision to serve Christ.